The deck is pretty cool. Or the pier, I guess you'd call it, is pretty nice. I like it. I'm going to punch this guy to get him off my yard. Get out of my yard. Howdy, folks, and welcome back to ARK Primitive on the Shigoislands. And look what we have. Knocked this guy down, found this guy. I was looking for a doty. I was going to settle for anything at this point. I was going to do it off camera because I didn't care. I just needed somebody to give me stone because I want to start building my permanent base, and I need stone. But I found this guy blue. I love blue, my favorite color, even though my outfits tend to be forest green, black, and red in ARK. But I do love blue. Uh-oh, we got a cat coming. He's going for that Anki. Hopefully that's all he's going to fight. I saw this guy, couldn't resist him. I saw a lower level one, an 8, I think. And man, it ended up killing it. Well, I kept balling up, and I couldn't get around that, so I ended up just killing it. And then this guy was high enough level that he could take my crossbow bolts and actually go under. Got 100% taming to start with. I'm keeping an eye on that cat. I don't want him coming over here. So he's going to be tamed up pretty soon. I only helped him with a couple of narcos. He doesn't need any more. He's taming at about the right rate for a good solid tame. So we're in great shape. I'm going to get this guy tamed up, get him home, and then we're going to start building our base, guys. Isn't that going to be cool? Isn't that going to be cool? Let's see what happens when I wave. Okay, in the evening sun, I think what I'm going to do is, that's my little garage workstation, work shed, whatever you want to call it. I think I want the base right down here. This water is not very deep, and I think I want to kind of extend it from the beach towards the water. Kind of like, let's see. Let's see if I can get a better view of this, of what I'm trying to do. I kind of want to go towards those rocks, so maybe I can have some kind of a feature on those rocks at some point. You know, my house actually having a dock back there and getting on the, where I can actually get onto the rocks from the house or something from a back porch. I don't think I can build through that stone, so I'm actually going to come over this. You guys see those lines? You can actually see where the texture lines up there. I don't know if you can see that. Here, I'll bring on my cursor right here. Look at these lines. Oh, that is weird. Okay, anyway. Let me spin just a little bit that way. Yeah, kind of like this, I think. Is kind of what I want to do. Let's just do it and see what happens, guys. Let's just do it. Oops, I hit the wrong key. Let's just do it. So, it's going to be mostly a giant rectangle. So there's 3. Let's go 5 wide. And then go as far back as we can. I don't even know if I was smart enough to put these foundations in a place where these won't be too high off the ground, Because I don't have any mods here, so it's default ARK building. So there's no structures plus. Ceilings, if I have to do them, I can do them, but they're going to look funky. They have a little lip, so I don't really want to do them. I'd rather just do foundations. So, is this one going to stick? It is. Awesome. It looks like they all might. They're just heading down into the water, so that's cool. I don't mind that at all. All right, I'm just going to go make a whole bunch more. Oh, and I think it's going to get that nice water texture on it, too. Dark stone, which is really cool. This is awesome, because I can get a water tap very easily. Just basically put a tap in my house, and all of a sudden I'm in the water. I'm going to go make more foundations and extend this thing out and start putting up some walls, and we'll see what we can do. Okay, it's coming along. I couldn't go out quite as far as I wanted to. This is about the only foundation I could put out here, and I figured I'd make this kind of a back little landing where I'd extend the dock from. But I like the interior. I like those lumber walls, the little lumber windows and doors. The problem is with the doors. This is a lumber door, and look at that alignment. It doesn't quite fit, but I also made some reinforced doors, thinking, well, they might be better. They're not. It looks like they just missed the alignment on the actual door frame itself. But I do like the reinforced doors better, so I'm going to replace this with a reinforced door. Look at that, it crumbles like it's a reinforced door. That's interesting. Hopefully the developer, Primitive Plus, will fix that alignment issue in the future. We won't have this little gap. I'll just hope that that's the case. Otherwise, we're continuing to make tons of lumber. That is the primary ingredient in that, obviously. And then there's a bunch of stone as well I've picked up. another batch of stone. Well, there's not a lot there, but I have picked up another batch of stone to make more of those walls and windows. And I think we're going to do one story right now, but it'll be 2 walls high. And that's enough of an area, I think, for all of our needs right away as a primary base. I do kind of want to do some peaked roofs, you know, sloped roofs and things, because the lumber buildings just look, I think, cooler that way, frankly. So I think I might do a long ways peaked roof. I don't know how to describe it better, but the ends will be on the short sides, and then there'll be a long peak across the middle. There you go. Maybe that'll explain it. If not, you'll see what I mean in a little while. Well, I'm back, and I found another problem, I think, with the lumber modeling in Primitive Plus. So what I'm doing, obviously, is like I said, the rectangular house, but I'm doing kind of a sloped rooftop. I didn't want to go to a complete peak, because it just didn't fit down here. I mean, if it was up in the snow or up in the mountains, a complete peak would make sense. You know, you want the snow to fall off and so forth. But here, mostly because I had an even number of walls, but also because it kind of made sense, I decided to use a flat top with slopes. The problem I've run into is normally, as you can see, I can move through just fine. And this is the way you would expect it in ARK. It's 1 wall high, no problem. But you'll notice that my character is kind of moving a little bit as she walks. And if I try to go this way, I can't get through. And the reason I can't get through is if you notice, these, let me get rid of these labels, these models of these ceilings are kind of tilted. They're slightly tilted whenever you place them. The right side is a little higher than the center line, and the left side is a little lower. So each one is kind of sloped. And you hit them. I mean, I can crouch through up here for now, but I really hope they fix that. That's bad. That's really bad. Okay. Well, I like these sloped roofs. These shingles are cool. I really like this. Let's see if I can place another one here. This? Hello? Slope? Hello? And I don't blame Primitive Plus for this. This is good old-fashioned ARK. All right, I'm going to do it from the ground. Seem to have more luck doing that. There we go. They overlap a little bit too, as you notice. The right side is a little higher than the left side. So whoever did these models has got them all at a slight tilt, which might also explain the doors being slightly. It's like somebody, you know, selected everything in the editor and slightly moved it, you know, before they published the version or something. Look at these rooftops. Look at these little bumps. I mean, from this side it looks fine, but from this side you can see it. Ouch. Doesn't look good. I don't like it. Don't like it at all. That's all I've made so far. I gotta go make more. But I have this little ladder up to this you know, cut-in doorway, which I think is kind of cool for the attic. Yeah, and I could put some storage up there, I guess, or things like that. Maybe beds. That'd probably be a good place for to have the spawn beds, I imagine. All right, back to work. I tell you what, I am not at all happy with how these building materials, these models, are coming together. I mean, I'm seeing all kinds of weird gaps. Now, some of this is ARK in general. You know, where if you have one elevation, you have 2 potential snap points. You have to figure out which one to go to. I understand that. So some of these are definitely my fault because I chose the wrong snap point, and I readjusted some of them already, like over here, to try to mesh that up a little bit more. But it's a little uneven, and this flooring is a little uneven, and it meets there uneven, and it's just I really think these models need a bit of work. They're all a little twisted. When you place these sloped roofs, they overlap by about 1/5 of the roof overlaps with the other roof. And you can even see it up there. You can even see the overlap. It's just, well, maybe 1/6. But it's a lot of overlap. And things just aren't matching up. And I'm getting a house buff in here, which blows my mind considering all the gaps. Like right there, look at those gaps. Now, that's probably just a dual snap point issue. But, you know, this lumber is very expensive. Very time-consuming. I mean, it's not so much expensive, because with the beaver, the wood is easy, and lumber is just wood. It's the time. This thing takes so long to craft. It only crafts 2 at a time. Oh, it takes forever. But we'll get there. We will get there. Okay, I think I've just made the last two of my components. I just want to show you my workstation over here. It may look like this barrel is part of this lumber station, but it's not. I just made this barrel, which is a storage option within Primitive Plus, and I'm using it. It only has 18 slots, but I'm using it to store my stone. So I've got my lumber, I've got my stone. Everything I need to make lumber materials. Okay, I'm kind of regretting deciding to build with lumber, but I decided to make the back, the dock out to the rock out of lumber as well. And I went to put some lumber pillars in, and they're broken. I've got a bunch on 5, and you can see if I go over here, it tells me that my lumber pillar is obstructed, but I cannot see where the model is. And if I place it, it seems to place, but there's no collision, and I get no indicator. That's the foundation. I get no indicator. I can't do anything with it. It's just gone. Lumber pillars don't work. I guess I'm going to have to go with wood pillars. That's a bummer. And maybe I'll just switch to wood out here anyway, since I've got my patio out front out of wood. I've got these lumber ramps, and I might get rid of them too and make them wood ramps instead. Have a lumber walls and ceilings, basically, stone floors, and out here the deck, which I think I might wrap around fully out of wood, I think. So we're going to switch to wood. That does suck. Now, they do have railings I wanted to try out too. Of course, you got your traditional wood railing, right? We've all played with those. And then you've got this new one that's called a wooden handrail. That looks actually very nice. Almost too nice for these wooden foundations. But I like it. I think we're going to use those. They're made in hand. They don't require lumber. Can make 4 more. But I think we're going to use those for our railing on the deck. So, boom. Yeah, they don't really connect, but that's cool. I kind of wish they would connect. But, I can live with it like this. They do look really cool. I like the model on those. Are they out of alignment? No. Except for the gaps. But I think that's probably by design. All right, that's cool. So now I just need to... I'm done with the lumber on the inside. Like I said, I'm getting a house buff, which blows my mind. But I've got the upper loft. And you know what? I don't think I'm going to put anything on the loft right now and wait and see if they fix the structures. And maybe I'll need to lay some, relay that loft before I put anything up there. So for now, I think I'm just going to put stuff down here. I've got a bed in the... the foundations are the only things I can trust. I've already got a bed up there in the workshop, so I'll just leave that there. I won't put anything here, but I might put another bed in the workshop as well as a backup. But I think I'm going to finish this pier. I'm going to wrap around the deck, and then we'll see where we are after that. Maybe I'll put a little railing up too. Okay, we're back, and here we're on the pier again, and I made some changes. You notice there's no nubs for pillars. And I did that not by layering, which is the typical technique where you put one ceiling down and then you put another ceiling down on top of the higher snap point of the pillar. If I were to do that, which I tried to do at first, it comes into the building, since I started at the building, it comes into the building at a higher elevation than the floor here, and then I would have to ramp, and the ramps were always colliding, and it would look ugly. So instead, I decided to do this approach, and I'll show you what I did. At first, I ran out and the pillars, the ceilings out, and then drop pillars, as you would expect. But then I did the technique I used for creating bridges in previous seasons, which is, I just noticed, I don't even think that's touching. Oh, it is touching. Which is lay a ceiling at the mid-level of, at the bottom pillar, the bottommost pillar, and use it as a basis for laying the top ceilings. But there is an issue when you do that now. Back when I did the bridging, like the bridge episode, all the way from the on the island map, from the land all the way to the northern Carno Island, I was able to get away with just this concept, where you just have a pillar with a ceiling, and then you can lay ceilings on top. Oop, don't have a lot of oxygen, don't have a scuba tank. But you can't do that anymore, because they made a change to ARK where that isn't allowed. Free floating above ceilings above foundations is no longer allowed. So what you have to do is you have to do this. I had to actually come in here, and I'll come in here and show you. I actually had to put 2 walls down which actually works out pretty well. And I put this doorway here just so I could get access to this area in case I wanted to put something down here, storage or anything like that. But you'll notice it actually works pretty well because the ramps come up and you have this wall here, which is really cool. It kind of looks like it's some kind of a foundation of sorts for the pier, which is really nice. But once you have the walls in place, then it thinks it's a structure. It thinks it's a foundation, some walls, and some ceilings. And then if you have a foundation at the bottom, which is the ceilings, it thinks it's a second story ceiling, which is what you're doing here. And it'll allow you to place forever without any additional pillars because you've got that support down there that you can barely see because of the fog and the water. But yeah, I'm gonna go out here a ways. I don't think I can go all the way to this rock. I've tried. I might be able to squeeze another. We'll see when we get here. I might be able to squeeze another ceiling, but I think I was colliding. And since we're on vanilla ARK, this is all stuff standard with this system, Primitive Plus and, well, Shigoislands, but Primitive Plus. There is no clipping option available for me, so I think I'm going to be kind of dead when I get to here, which means this is going to be the end of my pier, and I can only tee off or do other things. But for now, I'll just leave this pier coming out here as a cool thing. And I think I'm going to accent it with some railings. And I might even go branch off to this rock. I don't know why I would. I don't know what's out here, but but the good news is, at least here, this is deep enough for some water-based animals. My concern, if I get water-based animals, is can I get them in through this channel to the sea? I'm thinking I might be able to. So, we'll have to find out at that point. Okay, I think we're pretty much done. Here's Beverly, loaded up with a bunch of wood. I went out and got a whole nother load of wood and some thatch so we can do some stuff. I got a whole bunch of fiber collected up, but this is the house. It's a bit kind of funky, as I described. But I got these couple of ramps coming up here under the porch. And the deck, or deck if you want to call it that, it runs all the way around the place. What level are you, buddy? 4, it looks like. Yeah. Porch running around the place. Got the funky doors. Love those doors. Hope they fix that. And then the ramps over here as well for this side of the porch. Porch runs around. Of course, at this point, I couldn't lay foundations anymore, which is why the building didn't continue going. So I had to go to ceilings. That's fine. Hey, landowner, pretty nice, yeah. Nice, okay. I hope you enjoy my dock. Oh, no, you're definitely not enjoying my dock. I showed you this. I showed you the walls and the ramps coming in. This is so you can get out of the water if you swim up without having to swim all the way around. The deck is pretty cool. Or the pier, I guess you'd call it, is pretty nice. I like it. I'm going to punch this guy to get him off my yard. Get out of my yard. All right, and the railings, the cool new railings, which but so far the only thing in lumber I really like, other than the shingles for the slope roofs. They're pretty cool, too, although their alignment is pretty bad. But I like these. And then we got a couple of ramps here, too, in case you swim up this direction and want to get up. And I couldn't go any further like I thought. I couldn't connect to the rock, so that's fine. I don't mind. We'll probably try to get some water animals soon so we can enjoy this area. But for now, another one of my funky doors. There's also cool windows, and I wanted to investigate how to make those. They're like glass or something. That's a window frame. If you go over here and you look for a window, you will see reinforced glass window. Unlearned. I should learn that. I thought there was one for lumber. It was like a lumber window thing. I thought I saw a different one here. I guess I'm not. But I also want to play around with lumber benches, lumber chairs. I'm just checking my Ingram points, too, to make sure I'm good with that. And do some of the decorate. Lumber glass pane. That's what I was looking at. Lumber glass pane, they're calling it. Do I make that here? I imagine I do. Lumber glass. Okay, that requires glass. A lumber wall that provides light. So it's an entire wall that's just glass. That'd be pretty cool. But how do you make glass? All right, glass. Glass ceiling. Glass door. That might be cool for the back. Let's learn it, just for the heck of it. But how do you make glass? Okay, so you can't make it here. It's not an Ingram, so that means it's going to be something you make in a grinder, or it's a formula of some kind. Just like metal ingots aren't a Ingram. You just smelt metal to make it. Is there a silica, limestone, claystone? There's going to be something you probably smelt. Is there a different kind of forge for lumber or for Primitive Plus? No, there's just a regular old refining forge. Is there a sandstone, I wonder? I don't know if there is a sandstone. It's a grindstone. Structures, crafting. Do you make it in the cement mixer, the grindstone? What is this? The hand mill. I do have the hand mill, right? One of these is the hand mill. Yeah, that's the hand mill. Okay. Okay, I had to do a little bit of research on the web. I figured it was going to be something you smelted. I figured, though, that it would be some kind of sandstone or something that I'd never come across. Nope, not at all. It's 2 pearls and 5 crystal. So we made a trip up to the mountain to try to get some crystal. You don't get a lot of crystal on this map. It is, the developer said the crystal is hidden underneath rocks, and I did find some of that, cases of that. So that is true. But even breaking a whole bunch of rocks, I couldn't find a lot of crystal. So, I could only make 3 panes of glass with these components, I think. So I'll let that burn for a little while. You notice I also got some more of this claystone, which means I should be able to make... Oh, is it clay? Claystone, limestone. Why? Okay, I've got 46 claystone and 82 limestone. Yet the clay Ingram inside the hand mill says I don't have any limestone. What's going on? Do I need to do something to this? It's limestone. That says limestone? Okay. I don't know. Do not know the answer to that question. Oh, and I found a yellow drop, so much better feetsies for me. I'll wear those. And another metal blueprint, which allows me to build metal things, which is a no-no in Primitive Plus. But I think it's Shigoislands that's letting us do that, I believe. So we'll find out. Did I make any glass yet? I certainly did. So I've got my 1 piece of glass, which is all I really need to demo this window thing, right? What do I need to do to make that again? 5 iron ingots, and they're in here. I put them into this cabinet over here. In here. There it is. So there we go. That is a reinforced window, glass window. Nice. Okay. Let's put it in here. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's pretty nice indeed. It doesn't really hinge very well. But at least when it's inside, it looks decent. It doesn't seem to match there either, but these are alignment things. But you'd think since that came with Primitive Plus and this came with Primitive Plus that they would match up. So I don't know. I'm curious though what the you could also put greenhouse glass in there, right? Although it may not have as much durability. But you could. It looks kind of like the greenhouse glass window. It just has a slightly different design. But you could do that too, I imagine. I don't think it requires the glass ingredient, so it just requires crystal. So that's another option. Huh. Okay, before we go, I'd like to make some benches and a chair. There we go. They require the lumber, which I kept some of it here, and a bunch of fiber. So let's put this bench out here on the deck. I kind of want to put it right here. I sure hope you can sit on it. I sure hope it's not one of those things you can't actually sit on. Sit. Oh, nice. Cave view works. Awesome. I like it. All right. Now, the chair. The chair. That's going to go inside. We'll put the chair right here. Right here. Awesome. Okay, folks. Well, I hope you had fun watching me build this lumber house. I'm going to populate it with stuff in the near future. But for now, I think that's going to do it. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.